Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. Thanks. How are you?
I am good, thank you. My name is Julie.
Oh,
How are you, James?
awesome, Julie. I'm James.
Where are you calling from?
I'm from Brazil.
Brazil?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You're my second Brazilian today.
Yeah, it's funny because there is a lot of students from Brazil right here on Cambly.
Yep, I'm seeing that.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, is this your
yeah.
first time trying
Cambly.
Cambly?
No, it's not my first time. Cambly, it's so popular in Brazil among Brazilians, and yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So if it's not your first time, I'm seeing here that I've got a free trial lesson that populated on the screen. How long have
Yeah,
you been using it?
oh, seriously, I started this year, but my first lesson on Cambly, it was maybe 1 year and a half ago, and then I get a break, but I started again, um, like seriously, maybe today it's my um, this conversation, it's my conversation number um 50 or something like that.
Okay. So then why are you practicing English? It sounds like you're doing a really good job. Are you just trying for work or something?
Actually, yeah, because of one of my works, I'm a musician, and as a musician, I got some areas that I can work. One of them is as a teacher, and as a teacher, I work in a music school where I teach music. But recently, I started to work in another job in a bilingual school where the most of my music students, they are native. Some of them are native English speakers, and another are Brazilian, but they speak English too. I can
Mhm.
speak Portuguese with them, but the preference is speaking English. So I need
Mm.
to improve and take my English skills up a lot. That's why it's one of my goals nowadays. But I got another reasons too. When I start off to study English, it was because I have two kids, and Mariah, my daughter, she's 5, and I'm trying to teach her how to speak English, and it's very funny because they can, observe. It makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of content quickly, and easily, and sometimes I speak a lot of things with her, and I was like, oh, how she knows how to speak this word or this expression. Of course, it's because of the cartoons too
Mhm.
in English,
Mhm.
but it's funny, and it's one of the reasons. It's very funny and cute. Sometimes she, hey, daddy, and how are you, daddy, and stuff like that, you know and
Yeah.
because I always like the enjoy the sound of the language.
Mhm.
Um, I really think, I feel English has a beautiful sound. The words has a beautiful sound. The way that Americans speak, I don't know. That's maybe it's because I'm a musician, and the songs, I always listen to the songs, the American songs. The American culture right here in Brazil is extremely, strong. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
You
always gonna be. Uh, I always would like to know how to speak English.
It's so interesting that you said all of that because it's so interesting from different perspectives because I'm from the
Yeah.
US, but I currently live in Mexico and I grew up on the border of Mexico, so Mexican culture is very familiar to me. I was married to a Mexican for a while and had my two kids. But it's so funny that you say you like the sound of English and you like the music, and because you're a musician, it's like I'm the opposite. I love the sound of, and they say that Spanish is a romantic language, and I love the sound of it, and I love music in Spanish.
Oh,
And
that's nice.
here in where I live in Mexico in Mazatlan, it's a tourist area, and they have these tourist vehicles that drive around playing music and stuff. And everywhere they play like old 80s generation music, and they just love it here. It's you hear it everywhere. But
Interesting.
you're when they're young, they absorb things much quicker and learn so much quicker,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
my 18-year-old daughter, when we were living in the US, we didn't have a reason really to use our Spanish, and I didn't use it and lost most of it. But once we came to Mexico and started making a concerted effort to use it and learn and improve it, she's picking up so much more quickly. I mean, I was already speaking, but I have a lot to learn.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm pretty fluent when it comes to conversational stuff, but there's still a lot of things I don't get right. But once she really made an effort, and her grandparents, her Mexican grandparents, you need to learn your Spanish. And she's like, I can't. And yeah, now she is. Easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. That's
So
good.
you have
I
a
really speak.
5-year-old, and how old is
I,
your other child?
oh no, it's okay. It's my son Christopher. He's 3, and Mariah,
Okay.
my daughter, she's 5.
Ah, okay. So they're both littles. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're little. Yeah. So that's good. And do you speak Spanish too?
Mhm. Mhm.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and it's funny because here living in Mexico, we'll walk around together, and my husband, her dad is a Mexican. He's my ex-husband, and my husband now is white and doesn't speak Spanish. He's learning to understand it. But when she and I go places, just us, we try to speak to each other in Spanish, so people here we're speaking Spanish. But still, when I talk to people here, they want to speak English to me because they look at me and they think she speaks English. She's English, but
That's
I have to
interesting.
kind of make them speak Spanish to practice their English with me.
Okay. And speaking of the sound of the language, that's a lovely accent you have. It's the type of accent that I would like to, achieve one day. It's the Florida accent.
Well, it's funny. We lived in Florida for a year before we moved here, but I actually grew up in Texas. But
Texas.
all that to say, people tell me I sound like I'm from Wisconsin or Minnesota. I've never even been there.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know what I sound like, but thanks.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah.
So then what do you do for work, James, besides the musician and teaching and all of
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
Do you do like gigs
Music.
and stuff and shows or just teaching and stuff?
Exactly, exactly. Actually, teach music. It's my main job. It's my bread and butter, if I can say like that.
Yeah.
But as a performer, I play occasionally in pubs, parties, some events. Depends. Birthday parties. And I have, for example, tomorrow I'm gonna play with a friend of mine in a restaurant. We play every Tuesday there. We play jazz music. It's a
Oh, cool.
duo. We play jazz music, blues, bossa nova. It's a genre of music right here in Brazil, from Brazil.
I love
And
bossa nova. I always have it on my
yeah,
YouTube.
exactly, exactly. It's awesome. And the classical, oh, how can I say that, the classical music, no, for example, that type of music, it's American songs, that international classical songs, like for example Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson,
Mm, mhm,
Whitney
yeah,
Houston.
the
That
vintage stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, the standard ones, And yeah, it's funny. He is a saxophone player, and I'm a
Hmm.
guitar player.
A
Play,
what?
play.
Guitar?
I'm a guitar player. I
Okay.
play electric guitar. Electric guitar
Okay.
is my main thing. You know, and play jazz music is my main area of expertise. But as a teacher, I can I can play another musical instruments too, like bass guitar, drums, keyboard, acoustic guitar. Actually,
Wow.
I really like to play bass guitar. Besides electric guitar, I
Hmm.
like to play bass guitar because the music genres that I like to play and the listen to the bass guitar it's extremely present.
Prominent. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. My sons plays guitar, and he taught himself how to play. He plays both electric and acoustic, and he actually now builds guitars. Like he's a
Oh,
woodworker, so he's
that's good. That's
yeah.
good. That's good.
And my
Yeah,
husband's a
music.
musician. He sings and stuff too. So
Are you um are you teaching English on Cambly for a long time? This is your job, like full time, or do you have another job?
I don't have another job, but I don't necessarily do it full time. And I actually just last week, so I'm a newbie,
Oh, oh, that's
but
cool.
it's been awesome. And because we moved to Mexico and we work remotely, my husband does insurance work and he's getting ready to start into digital marketing. I've basically just kind of been a housewife, but then I decided to start doing this to kind of help and to interact and meet cool people like you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
And maybe I mean I thought that I think that's really cool. Um, know people from around the whole world and having this kind of conversations. Discover new cultures. Maybe
Mhm.
it's really good.
Mhm. It is. It's been really interesting. I've got a lot of people that I've
Yeah.
talked to from Brazil and a lot of Turkey and Saudi Arabia, and that's kind of because of my current schedule, the hours I'm available. It's
Yeah,
obviously a
yeah,
time
yeah.
zone thing. So,
Makes sense. Because
yeah.
if it's night, yeah, it's because of the time. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're gonna run out of time before you know it. That went super quick, but I always let my students know that send you a message when we're done, and I would love to continue chatting and helping you
Of
accomplish
course,
all that
of
you
course.
want. And I'll put my schedule in there so you can look and see what might work with yours. And if my schedule doesn't match up with yours and you want to have a lesson, always you can send me a message and I'll see if I've got the availability to jump on outside of my regular hours.
Yeah, yeah, of course, because I'm having a really wonderful time right here. So thank you for your time. You are,
Yes.
yeah, extremely good teacher, tutor.
Oh, well, thank you. And I would love
Yeah,
to continue helping you. And I hope that you have a good rest of your evening and we'll chat soon.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm
Okay?
trying to improve my listen to my listening skills. So that's why it's important to talk to people.
Yeah.
Um,
Because you
yeah,
can
yeah,
watch movies and you can it's very different than if you're having a two-way conversation.
yeah, like face to face. But it's real and it's more. Yeah, it's more real. It's cool.
Yes, definitely.
Exactly. So thanks, teacher. Really thanks for your time.
Sure. Thank you. We'll talk to you again soon, James. You have a good night.
Oh, you too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye bye.